All right, hello, good morning, trade pros. Welcome to our morning market update and live trading session. We got one of our favorite followers here from YouTube to jump into our trade room, so we're really excited to have him on board. He even made the intro. Today, we're going to talk about what are we going to talk about? We're going to talk about Facebook. Facebook just got super creepy last night. I don't know if you guys heard the news, but I'm creeped out. We're going to talk about OPEC and the start of their new meeting. We're going to talk about why Wall Street soared to a record high and Janet Yellen's last testimony to Congress. We have 4 topics and a few minutes to get through them. So rapid fire begins now, I suppose. Ready? I'm not going to go super fast, but all right. In today's market in Asia, Japan's up 0.5%, Hong Kong's down 0.2%, China's up 0.1%, and India's down 0.1%. So not a lot of momentum, not a lot of movement in the Asian session, relatively flat. As we headed into Europe, London was down 0.6%, Paris is up 0.7%, and Frankfurt's up 1%. So a little bit more momentum or strength to the upside here in the European session. But we also have some markets that are weaker, like London, in the wake of some news about Brexit and some overnight news as well. So there's a mixed bag of nuts there, but overall there's some strong sentiment. And then here in the United States, Dow Jones is up 0.3%, S&P 500 is up 0.1%, along with Nasdaq also up 0.1%, crude oil down 0.7%, and crude oil starting to slip as we're heading into this OPEC meeting. We'll talk about that in a moment. All right, gold prices are up 0.2%, but just having one heck of a time breaking out 1,300. There's a big seller that keeps on dumping gold right on the 9:30 U.S. Open. I don't know if you guys have noticed that on YouTube, but like it's like clockwork. Every 9:30 in the morning, just a massive unload or offload of gold future contracts. Watch out for that again today. It might appear once more, but it's having one heck of a time getting through 1,300. We get through there, we're running $30 an ounce easily. All right, Bitcoin tops $10,000, now trading at 10,963. That's insane. Bitcoin just can't be stopped. Fed's Dudley was speaking this morning, and he said Bitcoin is tiny relative to the U.S. payment transactions. Does not believe Bitcoin is stable store of value or legal tender. What does Bitcoin say to Dudley? Hey Dudley, come and get me. 10,963. Where are you at? That's what Bitcoin said. So Bitcoin just at this point doesn't even care what people are saying anymore. It's just going up. I think it's in the euphoria, the frenzy stage. I wouldn't touch it with your money, but it's up to you. That's why it's your money. My money is my money. Your money is your money. And we invest with our dollars and we vote with our dollars, as I like to say. All right, 10-year Treasury yield at 2.34% flat. This morning at 8:30, we had a really good, strong GDP number release. Is the Q3 GDP annualized at 3.3%. So very strong number. It was 3% prior last quarter. Now it's up to 3.3%. So GDP starting to increase a little bit. Part of that could be the rebuild effort and a lot of the post-hurricane construction spending that took place. But I mean, it's going up. You can't discount the strength of the quarterly GDP. You can, but just it's going up. All right. 8:30, we also have Dudley speaking at the moment. Today at 10 a.m., we have pending home sales, and we have Janet Yellen testifying to Congress for the last time. We'll talk about that in a moment. 10:30, we have Department of Energy oil inventory statistics. We'll be trading that in the group. We love to trade oil around oil inventory, and it's going to see what we're going to confirm based on last night's API data. All right, so stay tuned for that. Join the trading room. You can hop on board with us today and trade it alongside us. We share the screen. We show everything. We do the analysis. We're here. It's not like I do these YouTube updates and then I turn it off and I disappear for the day. As a lot of our members will tell you, we're here throughout the whole day. I'm here to support and trade with you guys. And that's the exciting part. It's community feel, community atmosphere that we're creating at Trade Pro Academy. 1:50, we got Fed's Williams. He's going to do a speech, and then 2 p.m. Fed's Beige Book. We got a lot of economic news today, and the OPEC meeting starts. No decision expected till tomorrow, but nonetheless, keep your eyes, ears, and mouth, I guess. I don't keep your mouth glued to the news wire, but listen to the news. It's going to be important today. All right, Facebook. Facebook got really creepy yesterday. They announced a launch of a new AI that would scan your thought patterns in detection for suicidal tendencies. So it's trying to look, it's a noble cause. I get it. If somebody's sad and pasting or posting things on Facebook that seem suspect, I get that an artificial intelligence program could alert people and it's all hunky-dory and rosy and it's saving lives. But did Facebook just launch the most invasive technology with the front cover of saving lives, as they said in their launch? I think they just did. It's very creepy because when does this approach start to go from being useful to starting to be invasive? Think about this. What else could it be used for? I like to think critical when things like that come out. All right. It could be used for selling you things that you don't even know that you want to buy by reading your thought patterns. I'm being trained at the moment in neuro-linguistic programming, and I can tell you one thing: you're not in control as much as you think you are on the conscious mind. The subconscious mind is what's really controlling you. And if you speak to somebody a certain way, you could bypass their conscious, go directly to their subconscious. If Facebook is scanning brain thought patterns on their platform, they have neurologists, psychologists on their payroll that help tap into your tendencies. So just be careful. I'm saying this thing gets really creepy fast. Sell you things, they can monitor things for you. They're not just following you anymore, Facebook. They're anticipating you. That's where it gets creepy. I got totally creeped out. I think that was the last straw for me. I was like, wow, Facebook, just give it up already. Just quit. Mark Zuckerberg just needs some friends outside of social media, and I think life will be good for him again. All right. That's that rant / over. I had to get that off my chest. I'd tell somebody that cared. All right, OPEC is saying that they're going to debate an oil production cap for Nigeria at 1.8 million barrels and Libya at 1 million barrels. Remember, last agreement, Libya and Nigeria did not participate. This agreement, they are. They're not a significant source of oil production, but them jumping in on the agreement shows wider adoptance of OPEC. The one key thing here is whether or not Russia participates this time around. The goal here is to extend the agreement by 9 months to the end of 2018 for OPEC. The question here is, does Russia jump in on this or do they not? If Russia is not part of this deal, expect oil to drop 5, 10, 12%. If Russia is on board and we extend it for 9 months and the quotas get added at the current level, then that's a base case. What does a base case mean? It means that's already priced in the market now. That's what the market's expecting. So I think oil prices are geared up for a big drop no matter what happens in this OPEC meeting today. And ultimately, tomorrow is a big decision moment. Follow oil. Right now is the time to trade oil. Today and tomorrow could single-handedly make your entire November positive, all right, and make you a ton of money. Don't discount oil. Follow it. Wall Street last night or yesterday soared to record highs, and tonight actually closed on new all-time highs on the Senate Budget Committee passing of a GOP tax bill. All right, it still has to go to the Senate floor, and it's not official, but it's a next step forward, and the S&P 500 ripped about 15 points off that news. So we got news yesterday that Kim Jong-un launched another missile that could essentially now reach all of the United States, Washington to Los Angeles, coast to coast, and based on the trajectory. The question is, what kind of payload does he use on these tests, right? If he puts a warhead, it's much heavier, it would limit the firing of the missile. It would limit the range. But let's be honest, at this point, he's gaining capability and advancing his military technology. Donald Trump said, we'll deal with it. So that's kind of a little bit of a thing in the back of a lot of traders' minds, but driving positive sentiment is this tax bill. All right, last but not least, Janet Yellen is speaking today at 10 a.m. I've grown to like Janet Yellen. I was the most critical person of her, but she was very critical of me, and we text back and forth. I said, Janet, what's your problem? I'm kidding, that never happened. But I was critical of Janet Yellen. I think she's done a great job running the Fed. I think she started to raise the rates, and she had the tough job. Easy to give people money, hard to take it away. And she started doing that, where Ben Bernanke just threw money at the market, said, free money, how much do you want? Let's bail out the banks. Janet Yellen actually had to say, well, hold on here, guys. It's time to pay it back. So she started the rate normalization process. Jay Powell's jumping on board. She's testifying to Congress today for the last time ever as chairwoman of the Federal Reserve, the first ever chairwoman with their last time testifying before Congress ever. So a lot of historic things at 10 a.m. This happens 2 weeks before it's expected. The central bank's expected to raise rates. So we got a rate hike potentially in 2 weeks. That's sort of the high probability built-in scenario. January is her last month of the term, and then Jay Powell will step in her shoes early February as Fed chairman. All right, so his first meeting will probably be March. Mid-March is when the next Fed meeting will be, and then we'll decide whether or not we hike rates. So this is gearing up for a very interesting 2018. She said topics may include why inflation, she didn't say this, but topics for today's testimony could include why inflation has remained persistently below the Fed's target. And I'd love to hear from Janet Yellen, if the Feds remain below the target, why are you raising interest rates? If your employment numbers they're good, but they're not amazing, and inflation's below target, why are interest rates going up? I just want somebody to admit that the Federal Reserve is now benchmarking interest rates on the performance of equity markets. And that's an important realization because nobody will tell you this, but that's what's happening. All right. Yellen's last speech, Jerome Powell set to take over. So we got a lot of opportunities today. Let's recap it like this. If you're trading today, you're looking for oil first and foremost. That's the market that'll probably move the most. And then you're listening to Janet Yellen at 10 a.m. testify before Congress with the thought process in the back of your mind of inflation. You're also watching the equity market based on the run it's had. At some point, it's going to have to give back some of the gains. And you're also looking at 10:30 for oil once again for petroleum inventories from the Department of Energy, the DOE. You guys have yourselves a phenomenal day. Good luck, good trading. And I'd love to see you on board the trading room. We do this times like 10. Imagine infusing this with a little bit of an upper and more excitement and our community. All right, imagine that. Stop imagining and join on board and check out what we do. We do this on a daily basis, by the way, 9 to 11 a.m. We run our trading room. And then we also send out a lot of commentary and news throughout the day, newsletter rather, throughout the day with trade ideas. And there's just a lot of stuff for you there. And you got the power of a community. The best part of a community, no matter where you're at, there's somebody that you can help and somebody that could help you within a community. All right, that's how we built it. We've got advanced members, some that are just starting, and everything in between. And they're there waiting with open arms to welcome you in. So take care, guys. Have a great day. I'll see you in the trading room. Trade pros, let's get this work. YouTube, good luck. I'll see you tomorrow, 9 a.m. All the best. Chair spin, patent the chair spin in 3, 2, 1. Slow chair spin. Boy, I'm getting weird today, team. Very weird. All right, YouTube, see ya.